everyone, thank you for being here for the patch 11.14 notes. It came out 2 hours ago, so we're super on top of it. Authors are Momcat and Shio Shoujo. There's a lot of changes to champions, so I just want to jump right in. Champions, Akali, Q can no longer be cast when dashing with E, R base recast damage decreased. Q, 5-point strike, has removed dash and cast. 5-point strike can no longer be cast while dashing with E, shuriken flip. R, perfect execution. Base recast minimum damage went from a base of 75 to 60, increasing by 70 with each rank. Base recast maximum damage went from a base of 225 to 180, increasing by 210 with each rank. Darius, passive Noxian Might, bonus attack damage increased, E cooldown decreased. Passive Hemorrhage, Noxian Might bonus attack damage went from a base of 20 going to 205 to 30 going through 230 based on level. E Apprehend, cooldown went from a base of 26 to 24, decreasing by 2.5 seconds with each rank. Dr. Mundo, base attack speed increased, passive health regen now scales, cooldown increased early. Q now heals more when it hits a monster, E now swats small monsters and does more damage to monsters. His base stats attack speed went from 0.67 to 0.72. Passive goes where he pleases. Health regen went from 2% maximum health to 1 to 2% maximum health based on level. Cooldown went from 45 to 15 based on level to 60 to 15 based on level. Q, Infected Bonesaw. New, more monsters, more health. Infected Bonesaw now heals for 100% of the health cost if it hits a monster, now the same as when it hits an enemy champion. E, Blunt Force Trauma. New, Fly Swatter. Small monsters are immediately sent flying away regardless of whether it dies. Bonus damage to monsters went from 140% to 200%. Bonus damage to minions unchanged at 140%. Kieran, Q, bonus movement speed increased. R, damage from targets missing health increased. Q, Decisive Strike, bonus movement speed went from 30% to 35%. R, Demacian Justice, damage from targets missing health went from a base of 20% to 25%, increasing by 5 with each rank. Graves, base attack damage increased. His attack damage went from 66 to 68 at the base. Alawi, base movement speed increased from 340 to 350. Here's a big one, Aurelia. Base health and magic resist decreased, health growth increased. Passive max stacks decreased, bonus attack speed per stack decreased early, but increased later. Empowered damage decreased. Q, bonus damage to minions now scales with champion level. W, damage reduction now works against magic damage. Maximum damage increased. E, can no longer be recast while CC'd. R has a new passive. Base stats, health went from 580 to 520, magic resist went from 32 to 28, health growth went from 95 to 110. Passive, Ionian Fervor. Max stacks went from 5 to 4. Bonus attack speed per stack went from a base of 6 to 7.5, increasing by 6 with each rank. Empowered damage went from 15 to 66, all the way to 10 through 61 based on level. Q, Blade Surge, dash speed went from 1,500 plus 100% to 1,400 plus 100%. Bonus to damage to minions went from a base of 55, increasing with each rank, to now just 55 plus 12 per champion level. W, Defiant Dance, base damage reduction went from 50% physical to 40 to 80% physical and 20 to 40% magic, based on level. Maximum damage went from a base of 20 to 30, increasing by 45 with each rank. Seems like a lot. E, Flawless Duet, missile travel time. Used to be based on distance, now it's 0.25 seconds. Removed C, Seed recasting. E can no longer be recast while affected by crowd control. R, Vanguard's Edge, new passive. Vanguard's Blade Surge's cooldown by 0.5, increasing by 1 with each rank, seconds, before ability haste. Ivern, E, base shield increased later. E, triggered. Base shield went from a base of 80 and remains at a base of 80, but instead of increasing by 30 with each rank, it now increases by 35 with each rank. Arma, base attack damage decreased. Base stats, attack damage went from 54 to 51. Lillia is also a big one, and one that I think we all know I'm excited about. Base health regen decrease, armor increase, passive damage increase and now heals. Q cost increased, max stacks decreased, bonus movement speed per stack decrease and lasts longer. Cooldown now scales. Base damage increase, W damage increase, E cooldown increase. Slow is now flat. Base damage increase later, R damage ratio increase, sleep duration decrease, slow decrease, and no longer increases over the duration. Let's get into it. Base stats, health regen went from 9 to 7.5, armor went from 20 to 22. Passive, Dream-Laden Bow. Damage went from 5% of target's maximum health to 6% of target's maximum health, and 1.5% per 100 AP of target's maximum health. Cap damage against monsters unchanged. New, Lillia heals for 12 to 140, 12% AP health against champions, and 18 to 94, 6% AP health against large monsters over the duration of the burn damage. Lillia can only heal off of one monster at a time. Q, Blooming Blows. Cost went from 45 mana to 65 mana. Max print stacks went from 5 to 4. Bonus movement speed per stack went from 7 to 3, increasing by 1 per rank and 3% per 100 AP. Bonus movement speed duration went from 5 seconds to 5.5 seconds. Time before stack loss went from 1 second to 1.5. Cooldown went from 4 to a base of 6 and then decreasing by 0.5 seconds with each rank. And then base damage went from a base of 30 to 35, increasing by 15 with each rank. W, watch out, beep! Damage went from a base of 70 to remaining at 70, but now increases by 20 with each rank. E, Swirl Seed. Cooldown went from 12 seconds to 18. Slow went from a base of 25, increasing with rank, to just 40%. And then base damage went from 70 to remaining at 70, but now increases by 25 with each rank. R, Lilting Lullaby. Damage ratio went from 30% AP to 40%. Sleep duration went from 2.53 to 1.5 to 2.5. Initial drowsy slow went from 25% to 10%. And then removed the increased slow. Lilting Lullaby's slow no longer increases. Malzahar, base health reduced, Q damage ratio decreased. Base stats, health went from 537 to 510. Q, Call of the Void, damage ratio went from 65% of AP to 55%. Nocturne, passive damage decrease against minions. Passive, Umbra Blades, new, wait a minion. Umbra Blades damage and healing is decreased by 50% against minions. Rek'Sai, Q1 base damage increase, Q2 base damage increase later. Q, Queen's Wrath, base damage went from 20 to 21 and increases by 6 with each rank. Q, Prey Seeker, base damage remains at 60, but now increases by 35 with each rank. Seraphine, Q damage decrease. Q, High Note, damage ratio went from a base of 40 to 45 and increases by 5 with each rank. Shaco, base health and movement speed reduced. Base stats, health went from 587 to 560, movement speed went from 350 to 345. Tahm Kench has a lot of changes too. Passive bonus damage now scales. Q now deals passive damage to enemy champions. Heal scaling updated. W cooldown refund bug fix. Cooldown mana cost refund increase. R base shield increase early. Ally self slow decreased early. Passive in acquired taste. Bonus damage went from 2.5% of maximum health to 12 to 60 plus 2.5% bonus health based on level. Q Tongue Lash. New and acquired lash. Tongue Lash now also deals damage from passive and acquired taste to enemy champions. Heal went from a base of 6 to 15, increasing by 5 with each rank. Plus 4, increasing by 0.5% of missing health with each rank. W Abyssal Dive, updated a bug fix, fixed a bug where Abyssal Dive's cooldown refund didn't scale down with the ability haste. Cooldown and mana cost refund went from 30% to 40%. R Devour, base shield went from 300 to 400, increasing by 100 with each rank. Ally self slow went from 40 to 30, decreasing by 10% with each rank. Update bug fix. Fix a bug where he could devour an enemy without full stacks of an acquired taste if he queued the spell before the stacks fell off. Taric, Q cost decreased, E cost decreased. Q Starlight's Touch. Cost went from a base of 70 to 65, increasing by 5 mana with each rank. E Dazzle, cost went from 60 to 40. Shinzao, W cooldown increase later. W Wind becomes lightning. Cooldown remained at a base of 12 but now decreases by 1 with each rank. Ziggs, base mana reduced. Mana went from 480 to 420. Items, Dead Man's Plate. Base stats, armor went from 40 to 45. Stride Breaker. Attack damage went from 40 to 45. Health went from 400 to 300. Halting / slow went from 90%, decaying to 40% over 3 seconds to 40% for 3 seconds. Dream Shatter, the Ornn upgrade attack damage went from 50 to 55. Dream Shatter Ornn upgrade health went from 500 to 400. Dream Shatter Ornn upgrade halting / slow went from 90% decaying to 40% over 3 seconds to 40% for 3 seconds. VFX Updates. Zilean, Q Time Bomb. New VFX AoE stun effects are now easier to identify. W, Rewind, new cast effect. E, Time Warp, cleaned up, textures adjusted to match overall changes. R, Chrono Shift, modernized to match overall changes. Shurima, Desert Zilean, Q now has a subtle sand effect. Blood Moon Zilean, modernize R revive effects to match base changes. And Sugar Rush Zilean, modernize R revive effect to match base changes. Lucian, base skin, updated VFX across his kit. Renekton, Project Renekton, fixed VFX bugs. Ultimate Spellbook. Sentinels of Light brings a new event game mode, Ultimate Spellbook. In this mode, you'll pick a different champion's ultimate to use instead of a second summoner spell to pull off the wombo combo of your dreams. Ultimate Spellbook is blind pick. Your second summoner spell is replaced with an alternate summoner spell, which grants access to another champion's ult. When you load into game, you'll have 30 seconds to pick from one of 3 ults randomly chosen from the pool below. You can get your own ult, and once you pick an ult, it's yours for the rest of the game. I'll let you look at the full list on their website. It's a long one. You can use your alternate summoner spell after an initial cooldown, even before hitting 6. It ranks up at levels 11 and 13 and benefits from summoner spell haste. Ults that only scale with AD can now also scale with AP. Ults that only scale with AP can now also scale with AD. Ults that only scale with health can now also scale with AD and AP. Ults that scale with nothing can continue to scale with nothing. You can see everyone's chosen alternate summoner spells on both the scoreboard and next to their health bar. Pay attention to a teal indicator that appears above the champion's heads when the alternate summoner spell is off cooldown. Ultimate Spellbook has accelerated pacing similar to that of One for All. You start at level 3 and have more starting gold. Passive XP and gold gains are increased, and you share some minion gold with teammates in lane. Rather than 4 elemental drakes, Ultimate Spellbook has Mordekaiser's Old Drake. A drake will spawn every 3.5 minutes. Stacks grant a buff that makes auto attacks on towers apply a dot that deals percentage health magic damage to towers. The soul grants the ability to reanimate on death with rapidly decaying health. This ability has a 5-minute cooldown. Ruination has spread to the rift, and the map looks spooky. Chat restrictions. New chat restrictions will be issued 3 and 7 day increments, rather than 10 and 25 game increments. Bug fixes and QOL changes. League client. Fix a bug where new players who first log in get a pop-up window telling them that their settings were unable to be retrieved from the server. League client. Fix a memory leak with champion mastery tooltips. Banners now properly display in party lobbies. Fix a bug where if a player is in a spectator slot in a custom game lobby, when the lobby is disbanded, they are taken to a black home screen. Fix a bug where Kassadin's passive, Voidstone, and Fizz's passive, Nimble Fighter, weren't properly ignoring unit collision after death. Fix a bug where Yasuo's E, Sweeping Blade, sometimes failed to play the proper animation and ran really fast instead. Galio is no longer able to flash while channeling W, Shield of Durand, if timed correctly with Hextech Flash Traptition Rune. Chilling and challenging smite not properly play VFX upon smiting monsters. Finding anathemas active to a target no longer counts as spell activation. Fix a bug where Silas was unable to apply stacks of Tahm Kench's stolen ability, passive, and acquired taste on his enemies. Fix a bug where Syric's Gauge would always activate during Sion's Glory and Death, even if it was on cooldown. Healing projectiles from Divine Sunderer no longer interrupts attack windups. The debuff icon from Abyssal Mask's passive now displays in the buff bar of the immobilized enemy champion. Fix a bug where purchasing Stirring Sightstone and the control ward could not be undone. Viewers W Reposit sound will now play when successfully blocking non-immobilizing damage on base and all skins. Viewers R Grand Challenge Success or Failure sound will now play correctly on base and all skins. The upcoming skins include Sentinel Vayne, Aurelia, Diana, Riven, Olaf, Pantheon, and Pantheon Prestige. Each one has its own set of chromas, and there is also a new chroma for Ruined Karma, Draven, and Shyvana. I hope you have a lot of fun with this patch. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to make sure that you get notified every time these notes come out, just make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much!